I have a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
That I think everything that the government tells you is so bad for you is actually good for you. How come they don't give, I'm serious. How come they don't give a shit that all of our food is sprayed with glyphosate, that we eat high fructose corn syrup, that like there's mercury in fish. Like, I just think there's so many bad things that they like actually directly do to us. Like they come out with guidelines that said, actually this week, they said that honey is, or high fructose corn syrup is just as healthy as honey. It's not.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, and that like Lucky Charms is better for you than like
No.
eggs and steak. No, I promise.
Way.
I promise. You can literally Google
Lucky
it.
Charms?
Yes, because of like the fat content and the cholesterol. So what I'm saying is they literally push us to do things that are directly unhealthy, but for some reason there is like a fucking black box warning on tanning beds. And it's like, okay, like maybe they just don't want us like being healthy. And they're so crazy about making us wear sunscreen.
Yeah, and sunscreen does cross the blood-brain barrier.
And
or something like that.
We've never used more sunscreen in the history of humanity. And we have more skin cancer in the history of humanity.
Okay, yeah.
Because sunscreen gives you cancer, not the good kind. You can use zinc oxide and titanium dioxide.
Wait, it doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. It goes into your...
Say that.
It goes... It's...
Like absorbed into your skin.
Deeper into your bloodstream than they once thought. So they
knew the chemical ones.
Yeah. But like they used to say that it just like you didn't get like the deep absorb, you know. Yeah.
No, so you can still use physical sunscreen. Zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, they physically sit on top of your skin and they block it. The chemical sunscreens are the ones that soak into your skin and they legitimately give you cancer.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, the Skin Foundation and the American or the whatever Science for Disease, you know, all the like multiple letter like organizations, all they do is tell us to wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
And it literally makes you sicker. And so like, I'm like, if they're so against tanning beds, I think we're onto something. I'm going to do everything opposite of what they tell me. We'll see how that works out for me. I might look like leather, but then again, I tanned every day for years and I don't look like 5 years older than my friends.
Yeah.
Is that good genes? I don't know.
You know, I just think that doing everything the opposite is a bad idea. But I do think that there is a weird sense of like whatever like the mainstream is kind of seems wrong. Like especially with religions and stuff. Like Jesus was like, oh, be humble. And then we're just not humble, you know, like the Vatican. And then Buddha was like, oh, definitely don't build statues of me. And we like build statues. And like the sun, like how, and I know that there's radiation from the sun, but like we also know that it gives you vitamin D.
I think like, that the sun is so important for people's health. And I think you like, I just think it's so good for you. And I think they're trying to make us less healthy because I'm that big of a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
They also have done studies that if you take vitamin D, it's, even though it raises the vitamin D levels in your blood, you don't actually have those benefits of the vitamin D. It like you need that like skin
the cholesterol. It stimulates the cholesterol in your skin cells, and that's what creates pre-vitamin D3.
Also, eating seed oils, like in a lot of processed food, is more likely to get you burned.
Yeah.
Like, so if you have seed oils in your body and stuff, you'll burn easier in the sun. And that's another reason why people might be getting more skin cancer.
And they say it's like a healthy seed oils are like a healthy fat because it's not as saturated as like butter. But we all know that.
I think most everyone knows now that seed oils are bad for you. But
yeah.
Oh, it's like if you look back on what the government and like doctors have told you to do, it kind of comes out 10 to 20 years later that it's like, oh, actually like the opposite of what we fucking said.
Yeah. You know what I've always thought was really interesting? I read this online where it was like, why do we take scientific fact as like fact when we know it changes all the time? And I love that, but it's just like we have to use something, you know?
Yeah.
But like...
people get really like serious about it. And I'm like, they don't know shit.
We don't know what dark matter is.
No, I get that. I mean, that's like space, but I feel like with the human
space.
I feel like that's a whole other conversation. But with the human body, if they could come out and tell us this perfect human diet to eat, they don't know that. There's so many different schools of thought. And like, they'll be like, oh, we thought like Like, you know, it's coming out now that like Alzheimer's and dementia, I think it's Alzheimer's, they now in most other countries besides America call it diabetes 3. Yeah. Type 3 diabetes. It's actually more of a blood sugar thing. Most every other country calls it that. And we've just like, well, we're not talking about that.
I know what my rabbit hole is going to be later tonight.
Yeah.
I've not heard that. But, you know, I think, yeah, that's really crazy to think about.
Because we don't know shit.
We really don't know shit.